Welcome to the Battle Arena. Now, I too want Echo Fox win, so I'm not stuck with Mark. That's actually, I'm going to lose as well if they get that one. So let's see what happens. Either way, Champion Select is upon us right about now. And as it was mentioned, it is Sunday. Rush has a 1 in, like, the odds of him going 0-15 on Saturday and then 15-0 on Sunday is 1 in 32,000, but he's done it so far, so...
Yeah. And he has had some 2-0 weeks, right?
Yeah, of course,
it's not like he always goes 1-1
yeah.
and
if
wins
the Saturday.
on one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he loses on Saturday, he has never lost on Sunday. It's pretty ridiculous, but we'll see if it remains true throughout today and the rest of the year.
This is an exciting one, though. It is teams that are tied in playoff position right now at 3 and 4. A win puts you up above that cusp as we near the end of the first round robin. 9 games for the first half of the split, 9 games for the back half here, as we have no Thresh allowed for Hakuho. Taku no in this one, no Urgot for Someday.
Yeah, and Aframo even talked about in that slot, he was talking about, hey, maybe we're going to actually ban out Thresh, that Hakuho is so effective on the champion, and because Echo Fox has had the most success of playing through their bottom lane, of them getting advantages and really being very, very strong for the team, I think it makes a lot of sense to target them, taking away the Ezreal, taking away the Thresh, so some safety is gone now, I think, for this bottom.
And Cassiopeia removed as well. Certainly still a strong champion. We've already seen Bang play a mage in the bot lane before. Wouldn't be surprised to see him no Cassio as well. Pretty strong flex overall.
Sion is available if people want to first pick a tank. It is certainly a strong one to blind, but it's going to be a Jace, which could be flexed even to the jungle. We have seen that. You wouldn't normally say it, but I mean, we've seen it bot lane, we've seen it top, mid, and jungle, so you do have to at least give that credit to it. It is a 4-way flex.
Yeah, it's Apollo himself who's played that bot lane Jace already. We've seen it from solo as well. So 100 Thieves' first Jace game of the year, but certainly a lot of strong players for this one. With Thresh off the table, Haku gets Alistar instead, as I really do like the variety of play you can get out of champions like Alistar. You can be the hard engaged champion. You can also peel things away if you want to play more for backline. Certainly very versatile. Fits as an early pick. So a quick Zoe comes through as the likely Phoenix mid laner.
Yeah, and I'm expecting this Jace to be mid or top. That is certainly the most likely, and with how well Someday has been playing of late, I think it would make sense to give him a carry if he can take an advantageous matchup up in the top lane, but we'll see if Echo Fox is going to lock in their other solo laner in this first round or try to save that for last pick, as they are red side, and counterpicking really is the major advantage there.
And speaking of that, keep in mind that yesterday 100 Thieves first pick for Someday, and it was pretty obvious by the beginning of the draft, and it was Viper who was able to counterpick him with Riven and actually took over the matchup and helped take over the game. So Someday, I think, needs to be able to either keep that Jace flexible or be really sure that Solo does not find a counter. We're going to have 2 Ashe games in a row here for Bang. Probably not as likely to be killed by Riven in this one, but again, it's the same Tom Kench Ashe bot lane. You've got global movement, you've got engage tools.
Yeah, and I think that having another form of engage from the bottom lane is very, very important these days. We're seeing a lot of teams struggle to actually close out games without multiple forms of engage. If Jace is going to be one of your solo laners, you're not getting engaged there. Tom Kench certainly isn't bringing that either, so bringing in the Ashe is going to give you that additional form of engage, and the Tom Kench can really help to keep this guy safe against both the Alistar engages as well as Sleepy Bubble Trouble.
We'll see those bubbles land, and if the Devour happens in time. Now we're up to the second phase of bans. As we've got fairly mirrored champions. We could put that Jace in the same lane as Zoe, and we really expect Phoenix to be playing it there in the mid side. And since they do consider Someday playing top lane, Jace pretty likely, an Aurelion Soul ban comes out, and they might aim another one at Huhi as well, or they start pinching the jungle pool, as we're really only down 1 jungler, just the Nocturne ban. Everything else is available.
Yeah, Nocturne the only one that seems to be getting a lot of bans in the first round these days. People still just feeling like the ultimate is so incredibly powerful, shutting down not only teleports, but really making those team fights very chaotic for your opponents.
Definitely
Slam
agree.
ban does kind of lend itself to playing Jace top as well. A little bit more here, but just in general, it's a strong ban for Solo, who is a guy who does have a propensity to play tanks.
Sure, and keep in mind that I think it would even fit the comp that Fox is going towards a little bit here. Sivir is typically a team fighter. You want probably 2 tanks, I think, rounds out a team fight comp really well, and you have that beef wall. Sivir's going to output insane DPS, more than Ashe over most team fights. We finally do see 1 jungle ban come through on the Echo Fox side, Sejuani off the table, so 100 Thieves. You know that Echo Fox have first dibs here in the second phase of picks. What is the last ban you get rid of before these champs come back through?
Yeah, we'll have to see if they're worried at all about any of Rush's champions. He has not been performing as well this year, so may not get targeted. But if you want to shut something down, the Lee Sin is certainly an option, and that is going to be the final ban. I do think Sejuani also makes a lot of sense as a ban because there's not any true frontline yet on the 100 Thieves side. Jungle is one of the areas that they could be bringing that in. You can go for something like Gragas if you want to engage, but people are building that full AP these days. If you wanted to go more of a pure tank option, you could be looking at something like a Zac, which we did see come out yesterday.
Yep.
But really, most of the other engage-style junglers are not tanks that are being played these days. People are building Jarvan, Warrior into maybe pseudo-tank.
Sure, yeah.
Gragas is full AP.
So plenty of damage here. I do love Jarvan as an all-around jungle pick. Keep in mind he gives more attack speed this patch than before, so just putting the flag down is going to give more DPS over to Apollo down in that bottom lane. He is going to be playing that engaged jungler most likely. We have seen Jarvan top some, but he feels like he's a full-time jungler now. Olaf going to be the sort of counter pick here for Anda, who doesn't have to worry about Cataclysm if he doesn't want to have to burn his flash away from the ultimate, but otherwise going to have quite a lot of early pressure here. And 100 Thieves look like they have pushing lanes almost everywhere. I think Ashe versus Sivir is a bit more contentious, but otherwise looking like a lot of early pressure, and they can take over quite a bit of the early game. Lissandra will still come through as well, so lots of engaged tools, lots of forward momentum. Overall, actual team fight may be a little squishy. I think Tom Kench and Olaf can be killed, but certainly this is a fearsome, aggressive composition.
Yeah, it really is, and Lissandra makes a lot of sense. Looking at it through the window of kind of having two forms of engage, you really do want to have that. The Olaf is not much of an initiator in the later stages. Yes, you can chase someone down if they're isolated out, but you don't want to be starting off a fight in a 5v5 with the Olaf just running straight in. And
I like
Malphite is actually quite effective against Jace here. This is a smart pick, and there's a tremendous amount of physical damage on the other team. You can say, hey, look, there's a Lissandra. What about that magic damage? Lissandra is not a tank killer.
No.
So generally speaking, just having a high amount of health plus then stacking armor is going to be enough for the Lissandra to be dissuaded from targeting this Malphite. So if Solo wants to build for the matchup, expect him to go Q-Max, expect him to go Comet, and you can trade quite effectively with the Jace. If the Jace does not get a very big lead in the early stages, Malphite stops caring about your damage, and then post 6, it is incredibly scary to push whatsoever because Malphite plus J4 can absolutely blow up a Jace.
You've got to flash dodge or you're dead otherwise. This is going to be a very exciting one. I'm happy to see Malphite come through. This has been, I think, my favorite patch so far of the year. We are seeing so many different picks come out for the first time. You are freed up. You have to pick those OPs quite as much here. So this is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to this sort of conclusion of Champ Select. What happens on the Rift here? Malphite, certainly an exciting top laner, and this is going to be a whole lot of fun.
It's funny to talk about it through that term because it is a pretty straightforward, pretty standard pick, but we're not seeing it. So it's exciting to see how it's actually going to perform in this game. And I do think that there is room for this sort of champion when people are going AD heavy comps. Malphite is such a beast. He is one of those solo queue champions that has maintained a fairly high win rate as a tank, and it is going to be Comet Malphite going up against someday going Klepto.
Klepto Jace. And try to earn some early gold, maybe finish the Hexagon to survive the matches, but we are getting ourselves onto the Rift, the battle between teams tied at 5th place. They are on the cusp of playoffs as we close down the first round robin of the group stage. Someday on a first pick, Jace solo counter picks with the Malphite against a mostly physical damage team. This is going to be an exciting one onto the Rift.
I think it really just makes a lot of sense here. He does have to be worried if he's stacking pure armor and no HP early game about any potential who he roams. So tracking that is going to be very important, but rushing things like early tabbies, going into a Sunfire is going to make you so hard to take down for Onda and Someday, and I think that's the direction I'm expecting. We have also seen quite a few Malphite players, if you're looking at solo queue. It's kind of similar to the Ornn builds that people were doing where they're actually getting a lot of individual CDR pieces and just trying to have that ultimate up as much as possible because that really is what your team fight revolves around. Malphite outside of his ultimate is pretty worthless in a team fight.
That was kind of cute. Haku was like, I know where the tongue lash normally goes. I'll set off on the wall. Oh! Wow. All right. 100% of all damage dealt is Bang. Oh. Ouch. That is a ward that died. Okay, there we go. Oh, actually, so something delayed that as long as he could to keep...
ward alive.
Right, yeah, his ghost ward, the zombie ward. So that's actually pretty cool. And they're going to look for a potential steal on this red buff, as Rush is going to be stuck taking a pretty lackluster camp here.
But it's actually really intelligent, I think, here from Rush. I see way too many players. If you cannot win the 2v2, don't bother even contesting it, right? So instead of hanging around and trying to maybe steal it or trying to win a fight that you can't, he has already finished his camp. He's going to be heading down to the bottom side, and he could potentially even go and take away some of his opponent's camp. So he's not getting delayed very much here at all. I think this is the intelligent response. Jace plus Olaf is way better at level 1 there.
That's actually pretty rough, though. Rush actually misses the knock-up on Scuttle Crab, so does not break the shell, does not knock down that extra bit of armor.
Yeah,
doesn't even deal with damage to the AQ, so that's a little bit rough. It will still be Krug stolen away by Anda. Keep in mind, this is no blue buff, and he went for the Hunter's Machete, so there's no mana regen on this Olaf at all. It's going to make the second half of his clear pretty rough, as he's got full health, so even his attack speed's not that high. And Spotted going down towards top Scuttle.
And I think Rush could have actually gone down and maybe taken away one of his opponent's camps, because this is still going to leave Anda plus 2 camps, assuming Rush doesn't later get to go counter jungle anything away. And Solo taking a ton of early damage there. You do have to be so careful in those early levels. The first recall, it's fairly important to be able to get a decent buy there. You sometimes just have to accept, okay, I can't actually contest any of the wave until you're at the turret, and then you try to have high health to farm this, because now they're going to try to dive.
Okay, who pulls aggro? It's going to be the Jace taking the first shot. One turret shot in, kites right back out.
They can't do it now.
They're going to try anyway. Good flash, gets away from the jump. This could be a death on Anda. He's not out of range. Oh, just barely jumps away, but that is flash for 2 for 1 on flashes, and Solo's going to grab all of this farm. If this dive worked, it would have been bad, but he survives it.
That was just an awful dive from 100 Thieves, though. There's no way you try that after Someday takes aggro early and has already taken the turret shots. You're not going to be able to actually finish him off. Solo handles it very well, but certainly a really botched play there from 100 Thieves. They are down 2 flashes. They don't even kill the guy, and it's even on farm on the base. So Solo's got to be just smiling about that one.
And Anda is down a camp right now because the time he spent up there, it's a flashless Olaf, which is killable. Watch this fight again.
So here it is. Someday actually pulling aggro. He just autos him. He doesn't even use any of his spells there, then has to back out. He's very low on HP. That is the critical move from Solo, actually flashing the 2 to the skies there, the jump in from Jace, and then the Corrupting Potion making it so somebody was going to take aggro back. He has to flash out as well. Very poorly executed dives from the 100 Thieves.
Well, that's a pretty rough thing right here, but it's still a gold lead for the squad, as we can see. Bit of extra farm coming through from Klepto and a couple other spots on the map, but this is going to be, that's actually, it's going to have such a huge knock-on effect that suddenly Solo can feel very, very safe. He was able to take that first recall. There's his Doran's ring to add to the poke.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a big deal when you actually die to a dive like that with the wave stacked at your turret. The implications are huge, because not only are you missing out on the gold, you're coming back, you can be down upwards of a level at times, depending on how quickly you're going to be able to get back. So that is incredibly scary. Yep. And now Solo is sitting at level 5. He actually has the XP advantage, although it's going to be slight, as Someday will pick some of this up. And as I said, when Malphite hits 6, Rush should come top, and that is a super easy kill.
Yep.
So just that one play alone has really limited the amount of time Someday's going to have to bully this.
Yeah, it is a hard guarantee. Someday will be flashless when Solo is 6. And he's not going to be 6 off this wave, I don't think. He's going to take some time. Right now, it's Rush just making sure that he's safe in case there's a repeat gank for Anda. With how far up Solo is, certainly a 2v1 would have been a kill, so smart pathing, even though it's not going to show much on the scoreline. Olaf, instead of taking his farm, he kind of, I think he's to a certain extent expects Rush might be there and doesn't want to waste the effort. Instead, it'll be a very, very early Ocean Drake, and this is very quick into the game. With the pushing bottom lane, it's going to be quite a lot of landing phase resources here.
They are pinging towards it, so Rush is actually heading down to the Dragon. We'll see if he can push on to off. Yeah, he's going to find this.
So he's flashless.
Yeah,
where's
the
the dual lane
comes. It's going to be a 50-50.
They've got Phoenix here first, and he's got no way out. He's certainly going to die. This has to be first blood. Oh, he's going to get grabbed by Aframu, but he's stunned. He can't get away, flashing away. Oh my gosh, he actually pulls the teammate out, but the Ocean Drake goes to Echo Fox. Still advantage on the red side. Phoenix flashing in for the root, the self-ult as well, but does he buy enough time? A knockup will still mean first blood goes to Echo Fox.
Really nicely done by Echo Fox there. It doesn't even get low enough that it has to be a 50-50. Aframu does save him, but it's first blood and the Dragon going the way of Echo Fox there, and that is such a big swing for the team. Rush had an inkling that he could be over on this Dragon, and So far, both plays failing for Onda.
Really smart.
Rush just ran straight here from spawn. It was getting pinged on. They expect he's over on it. Onda doesn't have enough time to actually get into smite range to even attempt, so intelligently, Rush doesn't bother smiting until he's already out of the pit, guarantees the dragon. Then Huhi, coming in here, had teleported, and he was essentially behind enemy lines, has to use the self-ult, but Onda cannot re-engage. Aphromoo and Bang had already used their flashes, so that was a one-way trip, giving it over an easy first blood and using both his summoners.
Oof, wow, this is Echo Fox looking pretty good on this one, and the Curse of Sunday may still continue as so far Rush and Co are looking pretty good on this one.
The funny thing about it, though, is gold is pretty much still dead even because of farm advantages in the bot lane and Klepto in the top lane, plus a slight farm advantage there, so nothing to write home about.
Bang's isolated. He's got to wait like 5 more seconds so he can get in a range. One more auto attack just comes in, and Bang too far forward. Hakuo didn't even have to flash. Walked up, got the headbutt pulverized.
Really nicely done there from Hakuo. That is the early Moby boots. You have to be incredibly careful about where you're positioning in this lane. If Aphromoo is not with you, you cannot walk up against a Moby's Alistar who's just going to straight up combo you.
That's just on Bang. He can volley from max range and knock out that Moby speed, but too far up. Ability on cooldown, that's greedy and gets punished for the play as Aphro is buying new items. Well, this is now looking even better for Echo Fox. They have that solid 1,000 gold lead. They have that Ocean Drake as well. They're denying this farm. Bang's TP was on cooldown, so taking the long walk back, and most of that wave is going to be dead when he gets there.
Yeah, and you could see Someday didn't have the confidence to try to attack the tower there. It's just solo moving forward. Now that he does have the ultimate online, it's very risky to walk up to this turret, but here it is one more time. Yeah, Bang, maybe the volley was on cooldown, I'm not really sure, but either way, not able to get out of that one. Moby's Alistar walks straight up. Easy kill there for the bottom lane after the summoners had been forced in that dragon scuffle. So even more advantages going the way of Echo Fox offer that initial play.
Statistically, Apollo was the #1 bot laner in CSD, and Bang was #9. And this is going to be more of a difference in kills so far. It was either way still leading the Echo Fox bottom lane, and one we highlighted in the beginning of the show that this was probably the single largest strength of Echo Fox, and they are once again ahead down in this one. Participated in all the kills so far in this game. Another fight in the top side. It's actually an early Bomby Cinder for solo, not the CDR, not the armor. It's actually a very inefficient tank item by itself, this Cinder, so getting worn down a little bit, but equal in farm. Again, another trade on the top side. Cinder getting some pretty good shots in as we do not yet have Olaf coming in. There's the Predator, there's the push for this one. Solo does have Flash, and he's going to use the ult to get away instead. It's a shorter cooldown, running away from this possible gank, but still Anda looking a little frisky on this. Is not going to land the Q. Good dodge to the side. Ult pop for move speed. He's going to get a lot of damage, but it will never kill Solo, so out he goes. Zoe's coming up, Jarvan as well. This is now an ultless, flash-only Anda. Phoenix goes to the bubble, not going to land that one down the range. Only clears the wave.
Yeah, really well handled there by Solo. Just having to use the ultimate to get out. He does get pushed off a bit of farm, so going to lose a little bit of experience, a little bit of gold there, but will survive the play, and it's going to be Onda who's going to have to be on the back foot now without his ultimate available. So Echo Fox are making a move over to this blue buff, but this may be a bridge too far, as Malphite without ultimate, again, is not going to be strong in these engages. So Echo Fox, I think, wisely considering backing off. Maybe just going to try to force Anda to actually take this.
Yeah, it's Smite versus Smite, EQing away because he could have gone for a combo. Phoenix coming around the wall, bubble! Oh, 6 HP. Almost got it, will land the Q, but he's tanky enough to survive this one out, and Phoenix doesn't have another bubble.
Even just this little bit of pressure, though. They have mid lane pushed in, so this is farm that Hui is losing to get this. They're going to take away jungle camp as well, so... Oh, he hit the bubble.
No ult, flashing over to combo it in, Anda. How good of a way out does he have? Rush never propped R, had to wait for the flash, it wouldn't have dealt damage. And then after that flash, he was out of range. Solo flashes in for the Q, not taking up Someday, but where can Jarvan go? A nice knockback buys some time. Phoenix tries again, nice flash wave, but now they're getting the dunk. Arrow's not gonna land either, but it's still 3v1. There's the bubble, certainly a kill. The aggro comes in, Phoenix and Rush gonna walk away. 2 kills on the top side, 4-0 to Echo Fox.
Everything going Echo Fox's ways. These small jungle errors from Onda are getting punished so heavily. The Dragon getting punished heavily on the bot side. The failed dive on the top side getting punished twice now. As Onda did not have his ultimate available, they invade on him. They force out these small fights where they are at the advantage, and this is after he's already been pushed out of the jungle. They land the sleep. He does not have the ultimate up, so Rush flashes in, They corral him under the turret here, and Solo gets an easy kill with the flash Q here, knocking down Anda, and then it's Someday, no mana available. Solo just had to survive, and they're able to push in the minion wave, corral him, and knock him down, and that was, whoa, good flash by Phoenix. Not sure if it was going to clip him or not, but either way, it is multiple kills for them, farm denied in the mid lane from that earlier pushed wave, and everything going Echo Fox's way.
No harm, no foul for Phoenix. It was a Spell Thief flash anyway, so whatever. No problems here, and only going to lose one of the little pieces. Nice! Ult gets away from the Alistair combo just in time, but it's still going to be second Ocean Drake, and no problems. Echo Fox, no one's there to contest the objective. It's an easy smite for Rush, 2 objectives on their side, and still, it's 100 Thieves on down the barrel of a perfect game so far. Nothing of import has been picked up on that blue team.
I've got to say, it's one of the worst feelings playing an early game carry into a tank who has multiple Ocean Dragons. Because it takes away almost any of your ability to actually bully this Malphite. The Malphite really just has to wait back at the turret, regen up his health and mana from double Ocean, and then he can kind of poke you away, back up, continue this process where Someday is not going to have the ability to do this, and back up to the top side, trying to get Jace ahead.
Plenty of damage is available. Solo does have the ulti. Which way is he going to go for it? He's going to go back in for the damage output. Pretty big chunk in, but the health bar is still running low. He's got to be careful. And he's going to have another axe pretty soon. No, it doesn't have the damage. Out they go, and now Rush is coming around. Does have the ulti, but not going to commit for anything too major.
Yeah, well played there by Solo. Buys enough time, kiting down, then ulting back. Gets enough time there for Rush to get up, and this is Huhi going in now.
Almost in range, gets only damage out of the Q. Couldn't quite land the R, I assume just out of cooldown. Didn't want to bring the flash for it. Maybe you could have, but not the trigger pulled.
Yeah, and it's going to be first turret going the way of Echo Fox on the bottom side. 100 Thieves call the lane swap. They have so many members up here, but they're getting poked on this Rift Arrow. I don't even know if they can finish it.
And now Teleport's getting burned as well. They're going to go for the pretty big play onto this one. Waiting for Hui to get over the wall. More of the team getting out of range. And it does not have Smite nor Flash. This should be pretty effortless for Rush. And instead of just going for the kill right away, there was no way out for the Olaf. He didn't have escape tools. And now a dunk on a Hui. Flashed over the wall. Blast cones away as well. But still, it's now 5-0. Echo Fox keep getting more. And now asleep on Ashe. Flashing to buy more distance. Hui takes a bit of it. And now it's going to be a stun under the turret. And Rush gives up the first death. The game with over-aggression.
Yeah, Rush going in. The Ashe ult was still up. He just gets made to look pretty silly there. The Rift did reset, so they didn't take it. But in the meantime, Apollo takes first turret by himself, pushes the wave all the way into that tier 2 also. And Echo Fox are just doing such an amazing job at punishing Onda every time they get anything out of him. They're able to capitalize on it. They force the ultimate at the Raptor pit this time. They're able to then engage, knowing he doesn't have that for quite some time. And they're getting so much done with this. Here's the play one more time as Hako has roamed up. They go straight in onto Onda. He gets hit with that sleep. The ultimate, I think, just coming up at the very end there. Then Huhi locked in, and Rush probably should have just gone back to the pit, but I think they kind of got baited a little bit by the bubble hitting here as Phoenix felt like they could follow up and close out that kill.
And you had the ultimate available, so... Oh, no, it was actually down and take it back. Did you get the knock-up? Yeah, maybe they get a kill on this, so... under the turret, a little too aggressive. Trademark Rush, I suppose, but it is certainly Echo Fox winning by 4,000 gold.
It's also interesting to point out, it's kind of weird. This is 2 days in a row now where Rush has just skipped his jungle item. So yesterday on the Lee Sin, he actually went straight into a Hex Drinker and then a full GA, never bought his Warrior, completed a Maw, skipped that, which is fairly inefficient. And again here today, he is not completing a Warrior, he's not building a Cinderhulk, he builds a Jorum's Fist, and now goes back for a Chain Vest, which may be something along the lines of a Knight's Vow and trying to, build fairly utility style, but...
Could be a Guardian Angel with that stopwatch in there and then into like Titanic or something, or a Frozen Mallet off the Jorum's Fist. So.
I just think that you're giving up too much early game power. Those jungle items are so incredibly efficient, they're fairly low cost.
Yeah.
Building the Warrior alone, that plus Electrocute gives you enough early game threat to actually be a force, and if you're going for pure tank, then Cinderhulk is also an incredibly efficient item.
That's true, but he's making his own builds, and, we'll see how it goes. I agree it's very odd, and I'm not sure I like it either. But he's making his choice. He's choosing to go for a more, I guess, moderate tanky build. They have attack damage, but also resists. We'll see how it goes, and either way, Rush's team is so far ahead that it might not even matter, even if it is inefficient. It's Infinity Edge already done, so Sivir this time around is going for the higher damage build, less CDR. Going towards the Zeal upgrade second. I still really like Essence Weaver And IE as one too, but not the builds we're seeing right now in Pro.
Yeah, Apollo is just massively ahead. He is up about 2K over Bang right now, which is just an absurd lead. You know, they did get those kills in lane, but they also were able to get solo turret gold, and all that time that Bang was up top, he wasn't farming. Apollo was farming, he was pushing, and they are just insanely ahead at this point.
This could be the second turret as well. Demolisher ready to go on this after the charge as well, and look at the extra damage output here it can tank. They're gonna knock down both turrets in the mid lane here, 4-0 in turrets. Gold lead now 5,500. The only thing they've given up is that one death on a rush. Yeah, sorry, Herald. Or Shally, based on your inclination, that's not gonna get any damage. Finally, an objective on the map is who he split pushes top lane.
Should be another dragon going the way of Echo Fox here, though. Triple Ocean looking like the play, which is going to make Jace poke pretty laughable at that point.
Gosh, yeah.
Just such an absurd amount of regen, even the volleys and whatnot from Bang. There's just not really any opportunity to poke them down. You can stay out on the map much longer. You can play around things like Baron and baiting much longer, not having to actually recall and go back to base. So we'll see if they can find any real uses for this and if they actually change up their play at all based on the fact that they do have all this regen. Pretty much no fun zone, I feel like, for Someday now at this point, as Solo has Bramble Vest, Sunfire, Tabbies. He's not building the MR, which I think is the right choice. You should never really be losing any 5v5 or who he is ulting you anyway, so just stack the armor, be able to really neutralize all that consistent damage coming out of Bang on Someday.
Yeah.
And Malphite's going to be worth way more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, best case scenario, Bang is able to immune the ult because Afro devours him. But you're still in melee range of a Malphite who presses E and your DPS drops to 4.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough game all the way around, and it's maybe 2 in a row where Bang is just going to have no fun because of the enemy top laner. And as long as Solo's able to group, I think it's going to depend now on map movements. Can Someday or Huhi force him around? I think Huhi's going to be a dedicated split pusher now. You're a magic damage dealer with teleport, and it's an armor stacking Malphite, so maybe there's some windows there. It's always good to have solos of different damage types.
Yeah, there is just really strong engage on the side of Echo Fox, which makes that tough. If you try to 1-3-1, there's the answer of simply Apollo pops his ultimate, and Jarvan and Malphite and Alistar are all charging in with that Sivir move speed. That is very, very frightening engage for any combination of a 3-man squad here for 100 Thieves. So we'll see how they handle it, but with this sort of a lead for Echo Fox this early on, this is a game you should be able to close out very, very cleanly, and they may want to wait for Baron and play around that, as it is still early in the game.
And that is the one almost piece that gives you pause. Most teams, yes, Baron baits look good, but Rush has had a miserable time landing Smite so far this split. Maybe this will be the one where he lands it and it's fine, but it's actually been really, really, really poor from Echo Fox. Their Baron control needs to be on point. They need to get them out of the pit entirely. This time around, a big chunk of damage towards the Sivir. They'll actually knock down Apollo at the very start of it all. Before the Baron even spawns, a single comeback kill with a bounty on top. That was needed for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, really good ultimate there from Bang. Does find Apollo, who's not able to flash or spell shield it. No one was there to block the arrow, and they knock him down, buying themselves some time. But you know, back to your Baron point, I feel like you don't have to 50-50. You have such strong engage, such strong turn, and you have Triple Ocean, so you can continually start up the Baron, bait the other team in, then look to fight and try to guarantee it. And we'll watch this one more time as Bang, this is just a really well-positioned arrow. He's doing it through the trees there, so Apollo is going to have no opportunity to see that ultimate until it's essentially on top of his character, not able to react in time. That was just really well played from Bang. Super creative positioning for that ultimate.
Really, really, really cool. Super great by Bang. That was, I think, a necessary play. A kill on the board for Olaf, one in there for Lysandra as well. Still a long way to go forward. As you're mentioning, Azael, yeah, the Baron baits should be easy with Triple Ocean. You can sit there and tank it forever. Just, it's down to execution. You've got to make sure you do it correctly. And sometimes these flubs happen. Sometimes 100 Thieves can play around it right. They've got Hotshot to help make sure it's safe, and they can dance around well, but Baron is on the map.
And that is going to be the difference maker for 100 Thieves. It's going to be engaged. It's got to be picks, right? You know, you try to get someone to answer this side lane split push, then you catch them with an Ashe arrow, you pick them off. Every time they're able to make a play like that happen, they are buying more time for themselves, more time to catch up, and kind of get back into this game as far as gold is concerned.
And more times being bought. Someday split pushing down to the very bottom side of the map with that Jace. He's in front of the turret. Malphite's got to walk all the way over. Now, of course, Alistar coming as well, and they might be able to get this 3v1 kill. The dueling of 100 Thieves slowly coming down as well, and Solo trying to buy as much space as he can. Here comes Alistar, here comes Abyssal Voyage. Nice stopwatch, gets away from the combo, and this time around, Seven is going to feel safe. Half HP on Solo. Hakuo a bit low as well, pop sealed. Apollo holding for the move speed. The arrow's still going to land, and now there's no way out. Hakuo cannot burn through it. Suddenly it's a 4 versus 2, and they get another kill. 100 Thieves slowly eking back into this game. Echo Fox might answer, but it's 4v5. Can they find it? There's a drowsy Aframu. The Tahm Kench sleeping with the fishes, and now a knock up here, and they will get that Dunka trade kill in the 4v5. Stopwatch now burn for Rush as well. The re-engage from Malphite looking to burn him down. Olaf still alive, and more seconds bought, but a very low health Olaf cannot keep fighting. Solo at 5 HP, the flash forward. Someday finding the shutdown, looking for Rush, but he's got to be careful. Another trade kill on top of this one, 3-on-3 on the map. And the health bar is going lower. The resurrection now, bang, has to flash away from the bubble. And look at this, it's actually Echo Fox getting more out of it. 3 kills, losing only 1, and the Guardian Angel. Hakuo's already respawned, make it 2 deaths.
Absolutely crazy fight between the two teams. All started with that pickoff that Echo Fox was trying to set up. Here's the initial play. It looks like it's going to be an easy 2v1, but Aframu very quick on the roam, utilizing the Tahm Kench ultimate to bring in Bang, who he also TPing. So all of a sudden a 2v1 becomes a 2v4. Apollo does show up to try to bail them out, but it's too late for Hakuo. He gets locked up and taken down. And the fight continues as everyone is coming down to the bottom side here. Aframu getting picked off, he gets knocked down. And then as the teams are engaging more heavily in, you can see Solo really looking for an ultimate here. Isn't able to find much as Hui is actually in the stopwatch, so it's a one-man ultimate on the Olaf, which opens up then for Bang to start free firing. That has given him the time, knowing those cooldowns are down, knowing the Alistar is out. Malphite has no ultimate, he can step forward, but then Phoenix making some great plays over the wall, shipping out that backline, forcing them back, and even getting Bang's flash, as that was really close to taking him down. A lot of credit deserved by Phoenix for that fight. I think he really was the one carrying it for Echo Fox.
Beautiful stuff out of him. 3-0-3, giant bounty on himself as well. Overall, that fight was 3 kills for Fox, 2 kills and a Guardian Angel pop for 100 Thieves, but more flashes lost by the blue team as well. Depending on how you feel about getting kills on the map, it arguably went better for Echo Fox, though. Difference still 4.8 thousand in this topside river being controlled a little bit. There's a blue team Scuttle Crab taken, so for now it's going to be slow for Echo Fox, but once that despawns, that vision goes away, you can look at that Baron bait again.
Yeah, there's also the opportunity for them to try to do some sneaky stuff where you actually go around it, but they're just going to start it up because they want the other team to come and then they can turn for a fight. We'll see if they just decide to rush it down. 100 Thieves are making their way over. You know that Zoe is going to be looking to try to poke people out as they walk in.
Malphite has ult as well. There's only a single flash on Afro. The dodge from stuff. Phoenix taking the front lines, and here comes the engage. They find the knockup on Tahm Kench. They can try to burst on this one. Over the wall he goes with the Olaf. That's now all the flash is gone. This is assuredly going to be a kill on Tahm Kench. Stopwatch buys 2.5 seconds, but he will still die. Slowly but surely, they wait for the shield. Couple more auto attacks. There's the kill picked up. That's Baron bait number 1.
Yeah, that is really well done. And notice they did not commit the Malphite ultimate, so they still have that for the second turn, where Onda will not have the Ragnarok, and he will not have a Tahm Kench to save him. So if he tries to walk in here, this is an easy turn and kill onto the Olaf. This should be a guaranteed Baron for Echo Fox if they execute right. 100 Thieves are making their way over.
Ash arrow is up. They're going to cast it here. Apollo spell shields it, walks away. Hui not going to pull the claw. This is going to be, once again, the peel back, looking for a drowsy. Ash headbutt, pulverize, burst damage, bang, he's gone. Another kill onto Olaf is assuredly going to happen. Now it's 3 in a row from the Baron bait, and once again, back to the objective they go.
Triple Ocean, who cares about the chip damage you're taking? Every time you have these exchanges, those Ocean Dragons kick in. They're healing them back up. Hui's trying his best to make something happen around here, but there's no way they can do it. A Malphite ultimate is still available. They never committed that, so if you ever overcommit to the fight, you will get taken down. That was masterfully done by Echo Fox. There was no reason for them to ever 50-50 with their comp, and lo and behold, they managed to get it without any chance of a smite from Onda.
A little bit of CS is all that's picked up for 100 Thieves here, and well, that's it though. Beautiful play right there. Proper baiting. And there was never a play to be had. 100 Thieves could not have ever made their way in and won that fight. So nicely done here to the Echo Fox lineup. And And once again, Rush unable to go 0-2 on a week. If someday games were coin flips, it would be a 1 in 65,000. This has happened. It seems like he really does turn it on.
Yeah, has been playing quite well, and Apollo now sitting on 3 items, 75% crit. He is going to be really ramping up in the damage at this point. Has a QSS to keep himself safe. Even if he cannot spell shield the Lissandra ultimate or the Ashe ultimate, you're going to really need to hit multiple, likely to be able to burst him down at this point. And they have the better front line. They have the better engage, as well as an incredible amount of poke that can come out of Phoenix, who has been having a monstrous game here.
And at what point do we talk about Echo Foxes truly being a solid team? Actually being a playoff caliber squad. I think they were ranked very, very lowly by most people coming into the season. Said maybe Rush is washed up, maybe Phoenix doesn't deserve to be here, but this whole team is firing pretty well. The bot lane's been good, and Phoenix has honestly been a really good contributor as well.
Yeah, I mean, they took 3 of the most solid contributors from Clutch last year, and they paired them up with Phoenix and Rush, and I think that, you know, Phoenix has been playing very, very well for the team. Rush has had his ups and downs, but this is certainly a team that is in playoff contention. This is a team that is dominating 100 Thieves, who by most was put in the top 3 as far as power rankings.
Instead, it's just simply Echo Fox who are having their way with this one, and on the route to a 4-4 record, which is securely in playoff position right now. Looking at the rest of this one as they keep chipping down this mid-outer. Hako a bit on his lonesome on the bottom side. They have to respect what a potential engage might be, but looks like it's 100 Thieves not willing to fight, especially with that turret being down. So 2 inhibs will drop, and there's still a minute and change left on this Baron buff. Nice poke there on the Anda down below 2k health.
And they're just going to continue the push. They're just non-stop regenning up, completely ignoring all this poke with their triple ocean. And first Nexus turret getting low.
They've got to pull the trigger. They find a stun in the front lane. He's got Guardian Angel. A nice knock up on the bottom side from Hakuho. And they're still trying to burn down Rush, but GA means he's pretty safe. He's even got a stone plate to make sure he's durable. That tank frontliner build is, I guess, working for him. As his turret gets chipped down, one more shot from the cannon and more of the base is falling. Now the question is, do you even reset or do you wait 12 seconds for Ocean Drake to kick in as Phoenix gets health back up?
Yeah, I mean, he basically has a mini Warmogs at this point, just regenerating about 40 health per tick there. Up and up and up, and they just can't push him back. The last Nexus turret's about to fall.
One more shot would do it in. A quick redemption heal, and their health's gonna keep going. The turret's gonna fall. It's open Nexus. In the 29th minute, Rush goes in for the double knockup. Malphite follows alongside the Alistar, and it's a slaughter. Phoenix trying to run. He gets away from Someday. Guardian Angel popped. And look at this. There's only so much damage left in the lineup. A double kill for Solos. Malphite, the first of the year, and a 29-minute win. Echo Fox 4-4.
Absolutely dominating performance here today from Echo Fox as they really just decimated 100 Thieves there. It felt like nothing the 100 Thieves were trying was working. There was so much time spent from Anda on the top side of the map trying to get Someday ahead, and it was not paying off whatsoever. They failed the first dive, really mismanaging the aggro there. And from there, Rush and Phoenix and the rest of the Echo Fox team were able to consistently punish Anda anytime he misspent a resource, anytime he used a cooldown. They were on him non-stop. Found him on the dragon, push him off there, force out the ultimate of the Raptors, invade him at the blue buff, non-stop, and it was really, really strong play.
Really good stuff. So Echo Fox at 4-4 are temporarily alone inside of 5th place, I do believe. Right behind those other 4 and 3 teams earlier on. But this is good stuff. They have Team Liquid to round out the first round robin. That's going to be a bit tough for them, but they are looking better and better over time. And this is a pretty solid look for this squad. And they can keep improving as well. Of course, Rick Fox is happy to see his team pull off a win against, again, as you mentioned, one of the early high power ranked squads. On the 100 Thieves side, though, they're down to 3 and 5, and this is certainly not the look you expected for a lineup with that much talent on it.
No, not at all. And their first 3 losses, I think, were more easy to excuse because the strength of schedule was so hard for the 100 Thieves playing against TSM, C9, TL, all of these teams that everyone else expected to be really strong also. But then they won 3 straight. It's like, okay, everything's back to normal. Then yesterday, the loss against FlyQuest, getting demolished here against Echo Fox as well. And there's a lot of questions that people are going to have for this team.
100 Thieves consistently losing to playoff teams. We'll see if they can turn their season around. But Echo Fox looking good at 4-4. For now, let's send it down to Ovly, though, standing by with Solo.
Thanks, Freak. Solo, congratulations on the win. Another 1-1 weekend for Echo Fox. Are Saturdays just hard for the team, or are Sundays just special?
I think it's like a combination of us being more like experimental or willing to, like push ourselves on Saturday and try something that's difficult. And then on Sunday, it's like, okay, we really need to win. So let's just, play what we're most comfortable with and then get that W.
Well, you broke out the Malphite today, and it looked like Onda and 100 Thieves did not want to give you any leads, so they put a lot of pressure and focus on you on top. So what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, Malphite's just kind of at least kind of good into, Jace Olaf because good at absorbing pressure. I was sweating bullets a little bit on the first dive. I was like, okay, if I survive this, then it should be fine. And I was able to kind of outplay them a little bit. So after that, I was like, this game's pretty free.
Well, Solo, thank you, and congratulations again on the win. And that's it for us here. Let's go see the State Farm Analyst Desk where we have Dash and Freak's new best friends.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Hey, settle down over there on the loser's end of the desk. Rush never loses on Sunday. 1-1, never 0-2. High knows it. Why don't you guys?
I will go against Rush on Sundays from here on to the rest of my life until he loses. So with a one time I get it right, I can bring it up.
Okay, fair enough.
1 in 65,000?
It's a ridiculous
Assuming
odds.
a coin flip?
Exactly. Ridiculous odds that this would happen this way. Let's talk about it. It was an absolute massacre here. Echo Fox over 100 Thieves, in part because Echo Fox played well. There were also an abnormal amount of mistakes coming out of the 100 Thieves squad, particularly in the early game. Kills being handed over to Echo Fox in every which way.
Right. Yeah. I think this is the thing, is when you look at this, you're like, man, what does Rush do on Sundays? Apparently he turns other people's brains off because this dive doesn't work out. You have someday, after the flash of Solo is out and he's kind of basically free, you see Solo look away. Then he just randomly flashes at that point.
So I saw the tower laser was about to light
up. Oh, it was going to go
onto
into him? Okay. Well,
that's what it looked like in that replay.
The only way that dive works, by the way, if Olaf starts that with an axe and gets this off, but that's I would call that like a 10-90 play from a pro player kind of view. 10% it works, 90% it doesn't. And in the case it does work, what do you get off of it?
Here, he TPs a random place, and then instead of running out, realizing that the Drake's already lost, ease into the middle of 4 people.
Right, there's just a lot of really weird misplays from 100 Thieves here. Hui being too far extended, making a play when he shouldn't. Bang, for some reason, just chilling up there with no flash, and they're just getting caught out, making these really weird plays.
This one, then we started transitioning into some really good plays from Echo Fox, where Phoenix on the Zoe, moving a lot from the mid lane, making aggressive plays, backup rush in the jungle. They force them out of the jungle, then they get the kills under turret. So definitely a lot of credit, I think, to Echo Fox and Phoenix for, after given this opening versus an early game team compositioning, they actually just ran with it.
Those first 3 kills gave them permission to play aggressively from there on out.
Right, and to be fair, their comp was a pretty interesting one. We were talking about it, about it's a little weird, again, Zoe with an all-engaged comp, but they did it in a situation where they're taking a Malphite into such physical damage focus enemy team that you're like, all right, well, this is actually a smart adaptation in the draft.
And you can tell. We talked about it yesterday. Prolly has been outspoken on the 100 Thieves content, the video they put out. They want to play more early game focus. They draft Olaf, they draft the Jace lane. They're clearly wanting to play this style, and they even have the roaming Lissandra for Huhi in the mid lane. They want to play the early game aggression. They just messed it up. Yep. So the game plan, I think, could have worked, and I think that's even a good plan to go for in this meta. It's just the execution.
Sometimes that's what it comes down to. Let's take a look at another thing that Echo Fox executed well around, and that would be the Baron here. With full control over the map, they play it right.
Right, and I think one of the most important things to notice about Zoe is she's very good at baiting objectives. I've talked about it before, where you want people to come into you as Zoe, and she can really punish you for coming in, either through her bubbles or through her poke. And Fox does this super well, where they just keep playing around Baron. They're here for about 1.5 minutes or 2, just baiting this Baron multiple times, and that's a bit due to the fact they have Triple Ocean. But Zoe here with Triple Ocean is just insane, and they do this amazingly well.
Yeah, they have super good front line too, with both the Jarvan and the Malphite stacking armor, so they can just hang out here. They have incredible peel off, not just with the Zoe, but that's the Malphite as well. And then they're playing against your win condition. Can't 50-50 a Baron if the entire team's dead.
I do have to commend Rush for his focus on objectives this game, because people have been flaming him super hard, for all the smites and everything, but, having the jungle sense, Olaf can easily solo dragons. In this meta, the dragons are so strong. There's a blast cone on blue side, so it's very easy to get in there and try and sneak it. Rush has his eyeball on that. They get the early Ocean Drake. That really snowballs because all the lanes can then sustain through the early game. If they're playing against 100 Thieves that are so early game oriented and they get all these Ocean Drakes for later, then it makes it a lot easier.
Right, and he even lost his red buff early game too. He had a really good pad in the game, despite being put behind. He came back in and was like, hey, I'm here.
4 dragons and a Baron, but the player I want to talk about or finish talking on is Phoenix. This guy on Zoe has actually impressed a number of times, specifically on that champion, but in a sense, alongside that duo in the bot lane that you've called out in the past, Mark, I feel like at times Phoenix has been the member to step up and carry them to victories.
It's funny because when Zoe was initially getting played in the LCS, he was the only guy getting her because people thought his Zoe was terrible, but then he would have like 8-0, 6 games, and then once again, gets Zoe here, has a monster game, and Apollo and Hakuho stepped up as well, getting the solo kill on Bang when he was out of position. So it feels like, for the most part, bot lane's solid, and they're just looking for that extra guy to pick it up around them.
Yeah, so Kobe, Mark, how you guys feeling about your day with Freak?
Terrible.
Yeah?
Terrible.
Feeling terrible about it?
I can stand Freak at the office.
Kobe's been really sad so far.
He's been pacing around like...
He's watching the game. He's like, no, what are you doing, 100 Thieves? He's pretty depressed.
I'm going to drink a lot of NyQuil.
We're gonna
a very
just
short,
make him drag
a
you
very
around.
short 24 hours in my mind.
We're gonna have
Okay.
like a movie night,
Oh
and
my-
go on a
Yeah.
marathon.
There it is, movie marathon. Just catch up, just rewatch all of Game of Thrones. Get ready
Game
for
of
the
Thrones.
new,
There we go.
for
You can
the new
rewatch
season.
this game.
Unlike
Think about that.
previous weekly wagers, obviously the payoff isn't going to be right here, right now, but we will make sure that you guys get to see that 24 hours handcuffed to Freak. We're stepping away when we return. Counterlogic Gaming and Golden Guardians face up for Game 2. We'll see you here after the break.
It hasn't started.